Boule, 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 boule. Watch it now, watch it. All right, we're going to do segment 2 of the Bully Bully blog. So here's what we're going to talk about today. The core issue of why someone acts like a bully. Well, it's usually childhood wounds. So let's go. That's a pretty deep subject. So sit down, relax. We're going to get down into this. So a lot of times when something happens to you as a child, we all take it upon ourselves and we walk around feeling guilty. Some of us 10, 20, 30 years walking around with this on our backs. First thing I want to say to you, you were a child. There's no way possible that it could be your fault. If you were under 18 years old, it is not your fault. It is the fault of whoever did it. And now there's a very good chance that whoever did it is still suffering from their childhood wounds, and so on and so forth. So somewhere we got to cut the cord and we got to break the cycle, because it's not cool, it's not okay. A lot of people shove it under the rug, and the biggest one that I'm going to talk about is, nobody wants to say it, child molestation. A lot of times this is someone in your family. Unfortunately, it's someone you love, someone you trust, which makes it even harder. Someone that if you told someone, a lot of people might not believe you. So it's completely understandable why you never said anything. But here's the thing. It's time to stop. It's time to speak out. It's time to go tell the first person that you actually do trust. Tell a mentor. Tell a counselor at school. If you're seeing a therapist already, go ahead and tell your therapist. It's okay, because you're not to blame. Somewhere it has to stop. So I want you to go ahead, forgive yourself. Here's the second part that's going to be really hard. We're going to forgive that person. Not for them. We're going to forgive them for ourselves. Because we can't carry that around. We can't carry around the hatred, the guilt, the shame of whatever happened to us. We can't keep carrying that around. And, you know, that person's going to deal with their own karma. They're going to have to go through their own healing. And hopefully they can heal their childhood wounds and never do that to anyone else again. And if it's a situation where someone needs to be put in jail, don't be afraid to be the one to do it. Go ahead and do it. Because guess what? You're going to save a lot of other people from getting harmed by that person. So you could walk around saying, hey, I know I did a good deed today because I saved a lot of other people. Couldn't save myself. It might have been a little too late for me. But I'm going to stand up and I'm going to rise up and I'm going to cut it out right now. It's not going to go any further past me. Now, I know that's a tough subject and it can't just be dealt with overnight. So I'm not saying boom, bam, it's going to be dealt with overnight. It's not. But the best way to start, the best way is to start to find the core of the situation. No matter how old you were, no matter who was involved, I want you to sit down. I want you to face it head on. If you got somebody you do trust or love, you got your twin flame or somebody you can trust this information with, go ahead and tell them about it, because it's best to get it off your chest and talk about it. But also, then you can kind of narrow in, like, wait a second, there's no way that could be my fault. I was 7 years old, 8 years old, whatever the age is. And this adult, who was supposed to be responsible, who was supposed to be, you know, the one in charge of me, they are at fault. And now there's probably a million reasons why we can sit and analyze why this person might have done it. But that's a different message for a different video. Right now we're talking about you. Let's try to heal you. The second thing is, we walk around and we deal with this and we start to hurt other people. Or we'll act out in class. Or we just won't be able to have a relationship that will last for a long period of time. Because every time it gets to a certain point where everyone's demons start to come out, and hey, everyone does. And that's where you find out if that person is your real person, if they actually love you. Because at that point, if they are your true soul person, they will help you heal. They will help you face it, and they will help you know that the shame isn't yours to carry. So I know that's a lot of heavy stuff, but the main point there is to put the pain down. Stop carrying it around. Stop hurting other people with it. Hurt, 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 because deep inside you're truly still hurt, and you don't have the guts to tell someone because you feel like somehow you were a part of it, so you gotta be partially to blame, correct? No, that's not correct. You're not to blame. In fact, you're not to blame at all. You were a victim. You're still a victim. But if you keep going around hurting other people, now you are the victimizer. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to become that, and you certainly don't want to become the person who did what they did to you. So that's definitely one. The second type of abuse is alcoholic abuse. Now that was one that I had to deal with a lot. I had the cool party parents that were always having fun, always having a party, and that's great during happy hour, right? But what happens after happy hour? People argue, people fight, sometimes people don't come home, and a lot of times the kids are the ones who have to suffer from this. Either neglect, abuse, loss, whatever the situation is, sometimes divorce, which is a whole nother subject. So let's get into childhood trauma due to divorce. If for some reason your parents divorced while you were at a younger age, particularly lower than 13, 14 years old, it seems to have a bigger effect on you because everyone thinks that the family unit is supposed to stay together. That's what we've built in our minds, and that's how we see it. So automatically we go to blame ourselves. Why did the parents break up? It must have been my fault. Maybe it was me. Why aren't they coming back? Why are they fighting? It's not you. It's not your fault. So stop that right now. I want you to stop. It's not your fault. And it's not their fault either. People fall in and out of love all the time. It is very, very hard to find your true soulmate. So if you do, hey, congratulations. If you did, congratulations. But the rest of us out here, we're all just dealing with the way things roll out and adapting to them as they happen. So the best thing that you can do is try to empower yourself. Try to say, you know what? Things happen. People break up. Lots of divorces are happening these days. It's okay. I still love my mom. I still love my dad, and they both still love me. And that's not something that I want you to forgive your parents, because it's not their fault. And if somebody did cheat, or if there was a reason that caused your parents to break up, that's not the reason either. The truth is they just weren't right for each other. A lot of parents probably stayed together for their kids, and they kept trying to make it work for their kids. So actually, you should probably say thanks, parents, for trying to stay together as long as you did. But I see now that you're not right for each other, because possibly you argue all the time, or you disagree, or you do harmful things to each other, and that's just not good for anyone involved. So environment is huge. We definitely don't want our parents arguing all the time. That can be traumatizing. So sometimes it is best for the parents to split up. But it's okay to have two separate families. You might get a new mom, or you might get a new dad. And that's okay. So you have to accept them in too, because they're new in this situation and they're not at fault either. So the best thing for everyone involved is to try to step back and see it from a broader spectrum. Try to see it from a different perspective, because a lot of times you're blaming yourself. It's me, it's me, it's me, I'm at fault. And it's your silly ego trying to make you feel bad about yourself, or say, hey, it's probably your fault. Well, guess what? It's not your fault. It's so far away from being your fault. So here's my last message that I want to say before I go ahead and end this out today is, if you were abandoned or rejected, or feel like you were abandoned or rejected as a child, that's another thing that we don't want to carry around with us, because it'll cause us to have relationships that won't last. It'll cause us to, unfortunately, be narcissist in some situations, be mean to our friends, lash out. A lot of times you won't have a good relationship with your parents or others, and then that goes into stemming to co-workers and your boss, and or someone that is an authority above you. So Don't carry it around. Forgive yourself. Forgive the person who hurt you. Start today with the healing. Try to express it to someone. I will be starting private messages and private meetings in November. So if it's me, you want to share your information with me, a complete stranger, sometimes that's a lot easier to do because I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to blame you. I don't know who you're talking about. So sometimes that's easier to get it off your chest. So I will put that. I will put that on my page sometime in November if that's something that you're looking for. But until then, I know what I know. I don't know nothing else.